Hey guys, welcome back to CLOCKWISE Crypto. Hope you guys are moving forward in everything that you do. We are back answering a ton of questions, also diving into what is happening in the current market. Everyone was asking, where are you guys at? What are you doing? We've just been posting shorts. What's going on? Guys, we've been traveling. We've been spending a lot of time outside. And most importantly, we have been moving assets around to accumulate more crypto. Heavy. So full transparency, that's what we've been doing, guys. And I saw that Tom Lee bullish on Ethereum now as well. Not a shocker for us, right? We were telling you guys, do not sleep on Ethereum. Ethereum, in our opinion, is positioned to be what Bitcoin was when it was at that $3,000 range, $2,800 range a while ago, a few cycles ago, right? But the writing's on the wall with Ethereum. But let's dive in. Taking a look here at CoinMarketCap, we see that Bitcoin currently sitting at $108,790.38 and counting, going up a little bit as we make this video. Ethereum at $2,500, $2,549 to be exact. And you see XRP pretty much has found its floor, right? 224, that $2 to $2.50 range pretty much has found its floor. Did have a pullback under $2 a few weeks ago, but essentially has found its floor. We see Solana still a steal, in our opinion, $150 a clip. Cardano 58 cents. Very much everything is pretty much still a steal for sure. You see Stellar at 24 cents, Avalanche $18.09. Like, it's everything's a steal, right? H bar 15 cents. Guys, you remember we were telling you guys to buy H bar at 5 cents, 4 cents. I think it even dropped to 3 cents at one time, briefly. But that 5 to 9 cents, it was there for a while. Now it's at 15 cents, guys. You could have essentially 3x your returns in really pretty much the bottom or the early start of a bull market. So that's where you see the opportunity, right? Opportunities there, even in high, risk. I wouldn't say high risk. I'll say low risk, low cap gems, right? It's kind of reverse, right? So this could be considered a high cap or low cap. I'll consider this high cap, right? Because everyone looks for the low caps, right? Everyone looks for 200 and below on CoinMarketCap. It just sometimes it messes with me, the high cap and low cap, because in my opinion, I look at this as low risk. Like the top 20, I typically see as low risk, so I always equate that to being low cap. But it's really reverse, right? Because these are considered high cap because the market cap is higher. We see here where the market cap is, you got multi-billion dollar market caps, right? Even here, $307 billion market cap, right? And so we see that, right? But we also understand that there are gains in low caps, but more risk. So definitely always look at the top 20, because I definitely think it's at a discount, right? I think I read yesterday that the people are anticipating a $15 trillion crypto industry minimum. So right now currently at 3.35 trillion, right? They're anticipating 15 trillion minimum just because of all the regulation that's happening. But let's dive in. So we see CoinMarketCap, we dive in to look at what some analysts are saying. So Crypto Analyst says Bitcoin will leave people in awe once Bitcoin breaks out. It already did break out, right? It broke up to over 110,000 a few weeks back. But there's more upside there, of course. So here he says the bid on Bitcoin is relentless. When this thing finally breaks out of its range, it will leave people in awe. What range he's talking about? He's talking about that range that we've been in, right? So we go up, come back down, and if you scroll in here, take a look here at what he's talking about. So you see we found the floor. You see this higher low point coming up to one, pulling back, and then clearing that and pretty much staying within this range and expecting a breakout essentially above 200,000. That's pretty much where everyone has been eyeing, right? So when he wrote this article, it was at about 109,000. And he's saying next up is Ethereum. They think Ethereum may surge to around 3,400, which I think is conservative, guys. You guys know how I feel about Ethereum. I think that many people are sleeping on Ethereum. And it's unfortunate because Ethereum, I believe, is one of the most undervalued altcoins out there. If you even consider Ethereum an altcoin, right? You had the opportunity to not wait until BlackRock buys, do not wait until everyone starts talking about it. You buy when people are saying it's dead, right? And that's pretty much what we were telling everyone that we were doing. Not giving financial advice, but telling everyone what we were doing. And now it seems like the tide has turned where BlackRock's buying it, multiple companies buying it, and stockpiling it, to be honest with you. So we'll see that and see how that plays out. Tom Lee has even come out saying that he is super bullish on Ethereum as well. So Tom Lee hits the news saying there are two factors preventing Bitcoin from going to the moon despite heavy demand from ETFs. The Fundstrat co-founder and chief investment officer Tom Lee is highlighting two possible reasons why Bitcoin has failed to go to the moon despite Bitcoin spot ETFs enjoying most successful product launch in history. He's saying he thinks what happened is a couple of things. One is a lot of ETFs may have been receiving in-kind exchange. So people have their crypto keys, give it to the ETF provider, and then they just stepped up their basis. So that's not going to push up the price of Bitcoin because really nothing's happening. You're just giving it to them. The second thing is that ones who aren't involved in ETFs, but they may have $10 Bitcoin. We have clients that have either bought Bitcoin at $100 and now it's $100,000. They don't care if Bitcoin goes to $1 million. They're probably sellers around 100,000. So he's saying that they're churning the base now because 95% of institutional world does not own Bitcoin, right? But a very significant portion of Bitcoin holders are sitting on huge gains. So he thinks that this is the churn that is happening in Bitcoin now. So this is when he's just essentially talking about Bitcoin, right? But if you look back, I think a few days ago, if not a week ago, he went super bullish on Ethereum. So with that being said, typically when Tom Lee goes bullish one way, he has a good track record. It happens eventually, right? Eventually. So it happened with Bitcoin. He was right about Bitcoin. Essentially, he was talking about Bitcoin on CNBC before. It's probably like a few years ago. Talking about CNBC before, he's like, look, $100,000 is the minimum, right? And they pretty much laughed at him, right? Now, years later, Bitcoin hits $100,000. Now he's looking like a guru, right? So that happens. Next up, Grayscale calls SEC trading pause on ETFs holding Solana XRP unexpected. So the crypto asset manager attributed the decision to a fast-changing regulatory landscape. The SEC this week paused an order approving the trading of Grayscale ETF containing Solana, XRP, Cardano alongside Bitcoin and Ethereum. Grayscale told Decrypt that the decision was unexpected. The SEC weighing applications for multiple altcoin ETFs. So this is one of those things where it's going to happen, guys. Like, just brace yourself. It's going to happen. It's okay. The delay, you can only delay for so long because what's happening is Grayscale has customers that want exposure to altcoins. They want exposure to Solana. They want exposure to XRP. They want exposure to Cardano. Okay. So at the end of the day, it's going to happen. You can only delay for so long, right? And we've seen that with the XRP case. We've seen that with the Bitcoin ETF. We've seen that with Ethereum. You can only push back and delay for so long. All right. The customers want exposure. They want to invest in this. They want to invest in this through an ETF for whatever reason. People have their reasons, whatever reason that is. They want exposure that way. And it's pretty much, there's going to be pressure, especially with the regulatory framework that's coming across governments globally. There's going to be pressure to add that exposure to these funds. So here he's saying the SEC decision to halt the release of large cap fund. So unexpected in an email to Decrypt on Thursday. Large cap fund, pretty much everything, pretty much high cap, large cap, everything, top 10, top 20. Their customers want exposure to this. They're not talking about low cap gems. You're not talking about anything that's in like number 300 on CoinMarketCap. We're talking about high cap projects that have a high probability of success long term. So that's what the customers are wanting. That's what their clients are wanting this, right? So there's only so long you can delay with allowing the people to invest in what they want to invest in if they want to go the ETF route. So taking a look here at the market, pulling up the chart, you guys see, we see here that pulling this over a little bit so you guys can see price action. We see that Bitcoin busted out of this range that we had, and this kind of like a descending triangle we had, cleared that, made a new high. That high was 112,000. Once it made that new high, it pulled back. So what would we do? We would pretty much line that up again. And it looks like there's another pullback coming. Looks like we broke again. So I'm not concerned at all. I know a lot of people probably are concerned. I'm not concerned at all. Looks like another pullback coming. Short term, pull back to this line and continue upwards. I'm not worried about a pullback at all. We see how this pullback had happened. Then we had a breakout. I think the same thing's going to happen with Bitcoin. The when is what everyone's freaking out about. The when is when everyone wants to know, when is this going to happen? It's going to happen, guys. If anything, you should be excited that there is still opportunity to accumulate these gems. Nothing really mooned yet. And when it does, I think it shows that there's going to be a massive push unlike anything we've ever seen. So this market is different. I know a lot of people are frustrated because they think prices should be, because of what we've seen in previous bull runs, prices should be different than where they are now, especially altcoins. Altcoins should be at a different price point based off Bitcoin's performance. We're just not seeing that right now. But we are seeing a lot of institutions, a lot of big funds, even though they're still early. We're seeing a lot of funds get in that would have never got in. So there's a lot of money coming into the markets. I definitely think price is not reflected on what's to come, right? So definitely excited. Definitely wanted to get on here and give you guys a market update. This is the time to be in crypto. You have an opportunity to be in something early. Hope you guys got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward in everything that you do. See you soon.